Hello and welcome back to the channel, Lunaz here, and today we'll be continuing with the Vintage Story playthrough. So we're on day 2, and on the first day we gathered our basic supplies and headed westward to the mountain close to the ocean we spawned at. We found a couple of traders and a hot springs and some copper, and finding a decent few other resources that I haven't ticked off yet, I have decided to head back to the ocean. I think I'll do that now. And hopefully that will take a little bit of time, just because I don't really want to be out here exploring too much with it being so dark and all, as I could pretty easily get killed by a bear or a wolf. I'm not as worried about the regular enemies, except the shivers, as they are fairly quick. But yeah, I know there are quite a lot of bears and wolves about, so those are the main things I am worried about. And I know for a fact that there's one along my route back, so I'm gonna go a bit wide in the hopes I can avoid it. And that is not what I wanted to run into. I think I'm just gonna run as far as I can then. Right, I'm very close to dying. Unfortunately, the hit I took from the wolf last episode hasn't healed up that much. So I'm pretty low health right now. And I can barely see anything. I'm gonna completely fill my saturation bar in the hopes that I can regenerate health a little bit quicker. I'm not exactly certain as to how health regen works, but I'm sure that'll definitely at least help out a little bit. Right, how close am I? I am actually very close. Oh. Really? Okay. I did not see a bear in that location before. Although I guess it was getting somewhat dark when I found the copper, but still. Right, I need to be a lot more careful with when I open my map in future then, as I'm so squishy. Not a great start. Usually I'm fine with bears because I'm like play more cautiously, but I don't really seem to be doing that this time. it? I'm pretty sure in May it starts getting light around 2:30, 3 o'clock. So hopefully by the time I actually hit the coastline, it should be starting to get light. And then obviously if there is a bear right where I plan to live, then it may be an idea to maybe push down the coast a little bit. I did rather like this area, but I don't want to be hassled, as I've settled in areas with bears quite a few times early on, and I've usually been harassed by them pretty severely. Yeah, this is purely just to waste time at the moment and make traveling back take as long as possible. Bears are basically the only threat for the time being. The regular enemies maybe, but only if I like really mess up. Okay, it does potentially look like it's starting to get slightly light, but not by a whole lot. I'm just going by the change in light in that direction on the skybox. I am basically here now. Hopefully he's not camping my stuff, actually. Because that could be an issue if he is, because I don't want to do all that again. Even though it wasn't that much. Alright, that is less than ideal, though. Great. One of those portals must have spawned, or rifts, or whatever they're called. Okay, yeah, it's definitely starting to get a little bit light. As of right now, though, it's not really enough where I can see much better. It'll probably take another like 1 or 2 minutes before that is the case. Ah, there's berries. Okay, so it's that way. I'm gonna use the hill for a bit of reconnaissance though. Okay, he's right there. He was basically sitting on it. I'm absolutely sure he can, like, two-shot me, so, I don't wanna, like, bait him into attack, if possible. Really. If one of them hit me, he'll one-shot me. Come on. Can't see it exactly. Actually, that's probably gonna mess up how I grab it. Okay, there we go. No, I just have to get out of here. Right, unfortunately that did take up a decent amount of time. That's a shiver, I'm just gonna continue running. And then I think I'm just gonna head along the coast to that other plains bit I could see. And then we'll come back this way at a later date for resource gathering. It's probably better to go this way anyway, just because it puts us closer to more trees. Oh, is this not a pine forest? It looks like larch, I think. Yeah, larch. Those are good for sticks, though, when you don't have shears. And also, it will be good for horsetail, which I can use for healing. That is a fruit tree. I'm gonna mark it for now. Actually, how much space do I have? Oh no, wait, I don't even have an axe, do I? corridor. That's still a perfectly good building stone type. Looks like another fruit tree. If it is, I'm gonna mark it. Because the more of those I can find early game, the better, as they are very good for food. They just take a long time to grow. Okay, no. The color of the leaves threw me off. Generally, fruit trees have lighter leaves. Okay, there are more pine trees in this area. Definitely gonna have to continue though, as this terrain isn't ideal for building. And it's still too close to the plains. I'm not gonna mark that just because I don't think it's like a super widely used material. I'm pretty sure you can make stained glass with it. I'm not absolutely certain though, but I've found enough of it before that I'm not too concerned about being able to find it when I actually need it. Because it seems fairly common in caves. One of the things I do need though are definitely going to be sticks. And then more flint as well. Chuck those in the inventory, and then I don't have to worry about switching my hotbar whenever I want to pick up different items. While I would like some horsetail, I think I'm gonna leave it for the time being, just because space is extremely important right now. Oh, I'm actually gonna drown if I don't get some air. And then where is the wolf? He's heading back. There's another 2 types of stone there. More copper. Sadly, it does seem like it's another single case. This area doesn't actually look half bad either. I'm a big fan of the large plains, sparse trees, sparse hills. Like, it just looks like really, like, relaxing, I guess. And like, there are still, like, mountains and stuff nearby. I think that's either bauxite or sandstone. I am gonna check it, but if it is one of those, that could mean there may be bauxite in the area. And that's one of the requirements to start leather making. So if that is the case, it's definitely going to be worth staying up here. The shrubbery doesn't seem to be as big of an issue this time either. I haven't seen a bear yet. Although I haven't been here too long. Bauxite sand. It's definitely seeming to be the type I want. Right, it's definitely bauxite rock. So hopefully when I do need to go looking, I will be able to find what I'm looking for. Save that for later, once I have some torches. And then... yeah, if I head in here, it puts me closer to the woods, so I don't have to run as far back and forth. And I can get a decent picture of how many threats there could be. But this place definitely seems better so far. At least in terms of survivability. Okay, shrubs might be a slight issue the more inland I go, but from this point I'll probably be staying close to the coast. The land around here is very flat though, which will be great for building on. And basically all of the ground seems to be medium fertility. Okay, this seems really good actually. Of a location. I'm just gonna check slightly further this way. Does seem we are actually pretty clear. I think I'm gonna set up here actually. Right, obviously I am gonna need to sort myself out, some form of inventory issue. Yeah, because that is a big thing right now that needs to be resolved. Right, before anything, I'm gonna need an axe. So we'll do that. And then I will gather a small amount of pine. And then hopefully I should be able to start basic pottery with that. Okay, that should hopefully be enough for the time being. I wasn't actually paying attention till just now, but there are chickens, like, within like 30 meters. Which is a great start to long-term sustainability. But obviously it's a decent way off still. I'm not going to be able to start animal husbandry for at least an in-game week. Probably more like 2 or 3 though. As I usually tend to go the metalworking route first. Okay. So I'm gonna have to dig up a bit of soil. I'm not gonna use a shovel, just because I'm still lacking for space. But this is gonna be a proportion against the rain, because even if it stops, this is a area where it commonly rains, so it could easily just start again, and that'll put out any fires I plan to make. I am going to quickly do something about music, as it still feels very loud to me. Don't want to start any fires, so I'm gonna push this away a bit. And it means I get more fuel. Okay, so space is the #1 issue for the time being. So the first thing I'm gonna make is a urn, most likely. And in fact, I might actually make 2. So that should give us around 24 inventory slots, or storage slots. And that should at least allow us to gather enough materials to potentially start Copper Age and be able to make chests. And then, obviously, from there, storage won't be an issue, as long as we can find even a small amount of copper. Which I already know where 2 are, though unfortunately they are a little bit of a trek away. So yeah, it will be... I think I'll just prepare everything I need, I know I'm gonna need, for pottery. Because usually I just rush it, and then when I go to make stuff to advance my tech, I realize that I'm missing a mold. Or something along those lines. So I'm just gonna take care of all of that now. I'm pretty sure I have enough clay. And that was the whole point of gathering 3 stacks of it early. Okay, that's one. These urns use up quite a bit. They are the items that are gonna use up the most, but now that we've basically finished the second one, we should be fine in terms of how much we have left for what else I was planning to make. I'm not sure... Well, I don't believe the mods use up too much. As long as it's like 20 a piece, we should be fine. Okay, that is #2. And then I'm gonna need a crucible for when I start metal working. I'm absolutely sure I heard a wolf. Or there's a dog living nearby that howls exactly like a wolf pup. Which I'm hoping is the case. I was pretty sure I, like, searched decently well, like, regarding the coastline. Not really that way, but I can see well enough that I didn't think there'd be one over there. Right, cooking pot is next. Okay, that's not it. I thought it wouldn't duplicate the bottom, as I didn't actually place that down technically. It just auto does that. Right, that is done. Then I'm gonna need bowls. You kinda need a decent few of them, so I'll do 4 for now. I know I'm definitely gonna need more when I can start making lights and stuff, but 4 should be decently okay for the rare opportunities we're gonna be able to eat proper meals. Okay. And crucible, bowl, and cookpot. So I'm gonna need a pickaxe and a hammer mold. Yeah, these don't use up that much clay at all, really. Only about 15 or 20 units, I think. Which is more than acceptable. There is quite a lot of water nearby, so the chances we'll find more is very high. Oh man, I have to remember to eat. I thought I was being attacked. I got really scared for a second. I get too engrossed with what I'm doing and then forget the basic things. Right, and then I am gonna go okay, that's definitely wolves. To the left. It seems there's some distance though. So maybe they just won't venture this way. But yeah, with clay making, I think I'm gonna go and do literally everything I need. Even if it does seem a little bit overkill for episode 2. Just means I don't have to go back and do things later when I'm trying to focus on other stuff. Right, how much do I have to work with? I think a Falk's Blade could definitely be worth it. So we're gonna do that. Getting dark already. I think the days are like 40 minutes or something. So they definitely are decently long. But when you're trying to like work on stuff, it goes so quick. Right, that's Falk's Blade. Do I need anything else? Not in particular. But I don't want to be walking around with just 5 clay in my inventory while I'm waiting for storage space. So I'm gonna make another 4 bowls. And then that should be everything I need. Okay, I'm a bit cold, I think. Because I'm getting some screen shake. I am going to start a fire soon, so hopefully that will do something about that. But as long as I'm not seeing any icicles or anything in the corner of the screens, I think we'll be okay. Okay, they seem to have moved a bit closer to the hill. I'm a little concerned, but for the episode, I think we'll be okay. Right. I still have clay to use. I'll just do another 2 ingots, because that will definitely use it. And then we'll start prioritizing getting stuff going in the pit kilns. Okay, I am starting to get slightly cold. I'm seeing the start of hypothermia. You can see in the corners of the screen, it's starting to get a bit icy. So I should start working on fire. I think it is like this. Yeah, that gives me a fire star. And then we're going to need to use the axe and the pine to make firewood. Right, I'm gonna make some rammed for a little fire spot that isn't gonna set fire to stuff. I'll try and gather a little more dirt so I can increase the size of it if I have to. But obviously before that the pit kilns need to go down. Actually no, because I can't even... Oh no, I can, never mind. I do need a torch though, because I'm starting to struggle for sight. Right, that should give off a small amount of warmth as well. Okay, so priority is the urns, so they can go in first. And then we can't cook yet, so the bowls and the cookpot aren't necessary. So the crucible, and then probably the hammer, so I can at least break... Actually, no. The pickaxe, because I can at least transport the rock back once I have it. And then I can wait on the hammer if I need to. Actually, can I take that out? I don't know how to, and I don't want to waste it. Oh, I need sticks. Okay, this may be a bit of an issue. Okay, I can only do 3 for the time being. But yeah, the roofs over them should stop them getting put out by rain, even if it is only 1 tile wide. And then the next thing I'm gonna have to do is immediately gather sticks, I think. I may be able to do that from the coast, potentially, if there's enough bushes about, but it's not gonna provide anything insane. It'll basically be just enough to get the 4th pit kiln down. Okay, this bush might be a bit better than I thought. That's on there for some reason. I swear I had that going. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna have to go somewhere else temporarily. That sucks. So apparently that area is not stable. I'm gonna grab that. That will be, that's currency, so we can use that. It is kind of hard to find as well. Right, this is... It is going up. So I'm gonna have to move slightly to the right. Next episode. Luckily, there's nothing permanent down. But, yeah, that gives me something to do, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna end here, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.